Whoa, we're back. And we're sponsored by Surfside. That's right. Philadelphia's biggest drink is sponsoring this little YouTube show. No, not really. We just have a Surfside, but maybe if we say it enough, it'll come true. Despite what the hat says, I don't quit. I'm actually back. And where have I been? Well, I've been living life, man. This channel needed to find a balance. Quite frankly, a lot of what we were doing really wasn't working in the past. So I'm kind of taking a step back, deciding what I actually want to talk about. One of the biggest problems I'm running into is being a movie critique channel. I love every movie that I've watched this year. What the fuck? So I can't make funny videos critiquing them. Because I kind of love them all. It's really the golden age of cinema, if I do say so myself. We're at kind of a weird angle here. Let's move it on down. Ooh, actually, I kind of like this middle spot here. So yeah, I've watched a lot of movies. I'll tell you about the TV shows I've been watching, and most importantly, over the course of this, as you can see, I didn't really quit. It's a Heim hat, not a shirt. I do have a Heim shirt, but it's a Heim hat, and I've become a music guy. I've transformed into a music guy. I've often heard that music does make your life better, and if you don't keep up with the times, you do become a little bit stagnant in your thought processes. So music has really become a big part of what we've been doing in this last year. That's also been a big part of what we've been up to this last year. We've been seeing a lot of concerts. We've been seeing a lot of live artists. Yard Act, to name a few. Definitely, if they come to your neighborhood, go see them. Wet Leg, we've seen them. They're coming back to the States with Moisturizer. It's going to be awesome. No Bro, a Fast fan favorite. We took a couple of friends to a No Bro concert this June here in our area, and they completely lost their minds. So I highly recommend going to do that. I've not seen them yet, but my band of 2025 is definitely Lambrini Girls, with an album of a title such as "Who Let the Dogs Out." How do you not love that, man? How do you not love something like "Who Let the Dogs Out"? And of course, Heim, man. Heim. I've become a Heim head. I just love them, man. I can't deny them. They're too good. I've been way too into it. But what have we been watching? I mean, that's ultimately where this channel started. I do love talking pop culture and sharing my thoughts on it with you, and having a good time. But what have we actually been watching? Well, let's get into it. To start, we'll talk movies. It has been an interesting year for movies, and again, I don't have anything snide to say about them because they've all been really, really good, such as Mickey 17. Mickey 17. Look, I think we can set it. There we go. All right, cool. Wait, no, I'm in the way. All right, Mickey 17. Not too bad. No heavy-handed rhetoric at all in this movie. It was really fantastic. There wasn't even a little bit of modern day political analysis to it, and that's what I really liked about it. It was a really disengaged sci-fi. It was just a ton of fun. Nothing else to it. No, I mean, no, but seriously, there definitely was that heavy-handed rhetoric to it, and there definitely was some fun sci-fi adventure to it. But again, I loved it. It was fantastic. Robert Pattinson, just the best. Sinners with Ryan Coogler. What not to love about the black exploitation version of, you guessed it, From Dusk Till Dawn. I don't actually understand why more people aren't mentioning this, that it's literally a remake of From Dusk Till Dawn. Till Dusk Till Dawn. That could be another version of it. But I did actually enjoy this movie, despite being a little bit snarky about it there in the intro. There's some good twists and turns in it. There's definitely a lot of really solid characters. I'll get out of the way just to kind of give like my highlights. I enjoyed the angle of the vampire. If you don't know this movie's about vampires, spoiler alert, it's about vampires. I did enjoy the angle of like what the vampires are after. They're after something other than just like flesh and blood, which is kind of a fresh take, if you will. And there's even kind of a an analogy there with the vampires having kind of come from an oppressed background themselves, and obviously being a Ryan Coogler movie, his main characters are experiencing oppression, of course, as well, as you could probably imagine. But overall, I loved it. I loved it. Despite how predictable and obvious so many of the things that it was just a fun Hollywood movie. Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning, I think this movie's called. Fun fact, this was my first Mission Impossible movie that I've ever seen live in the period, not even live in theaters, just period. I've never watched a Mission Impossible movie. First one I watch is Tom Cruise here hanging down from the plane. It was pretty enjoyable, man. I really enjoyed this movie. It was all about fighting AI, which I'm in favor of. I am in favor of, although a futile and fruitless fight. I will fight the fight against AI. That will bring us later to some discussions on what else the year has preoccupied, what we've been doing in this year besides just viewing and hanging out, man. Dangerous Animals. I do want to talk about this movie because I actually really like this movie to an extent. Captain Boomerang, I'm not going to remember his name right now, but Captain Boomerang, the Australian actor, kind of like a young Tom Hardy type, fantastic in this movie. It's almost a trap situation where the movie is worth watching just because the guy playing the killer does such a good job as the killer. But other than that, it doesn't deliver, man. It was okay. Again, I love every movie now. They're all amazing. Movies are hard to make. You gotta give it to anyone who makes a movie and actually releases it. But this movie left a lot to be desired. As you can see from the little like poster here, lots of blood in the water. I think we literally see 3 to maybe only 2 people actually get eaten by sharks in this movie. Not a great ratio for a movie that kind of promises that the killer likes luring people onto his boat in order to feed them to sharks. So, Dangerous Animals, definitely go check it out if nothing else for Captain Boomerang again's performance. Whatever his name is, he's fantastic in it, and it'll just leave you, ironically, a little bit hungry for more. Of course, I saw the same movie that pretty much everyone in the whole world saw. Superman. I liked Superman. Honestly, I'm a pretty big Superman fan. I grew up on Smallville. I'm of that generation. I have read a few Superman comics in my day. Not all of them. I grew up mostly with like Justice League cartoon and stuff. I dug this version of Superman. Maybe it's the Philadelphia bias. Corn Sweat to me totally nails it. I dig what James Gunn's doing with the dog. I already kind of like what James Gunn does anyway. So even kind of his crappiest work, I'm still kind of like, this was pretty fun. Like the Christmas special. By no means bad, but I enjoyed that. For you, it might have been cringe. For me, it was pretty good. Speaking of something that apparently cringed people out, but I enjoyed, Eddington, man. Let's get out of the way here for Eddington. So Eddington, I really thought this movie was a lot of fun. You got Phoenix, and of course, everybody's favorite, Pedro Pascal. How could I forget his name when he's literally everywhere? It's almost the perfect matchup where you have like Joaquin Phoenix is this beloved kind of underground guy that don't get me wrong, he's super popular, but is he well liked? I don't know, a little bit all over the place. Pedro Pascal, very much pushed on the people, very much well liked, but how much are people actually kind of like digging it and actually tuning in? Well, I mean, they might be starting to turn on him. If you have any kind of problems with Pedro Pascal, what I would say is this movie is definitely for you By the second act, you're going to be extremely satisfied with where this movie is going and the direction that it's heading in. It was definitely an interesting movie, and it's worth mentioning that this is the director of There's Something Strange About the Johnsons, or whatever that insane incestuous movie was about the son taking advantage of his dad. Yes, the guy who made this movie made a movie just like that, in case you didn't know. So he's an interesting dude, to say the least. But I actually liked Eddington, man. I thought that the conflict that took place in this movie was actually pretty solid. Anything that kind of revolves around the COVID times, I'm unlike a lot of people, I'm happy to revisit those times. That was definitely a cultural spin, to say the least. So, if we could return to that and just kind of have some more chaos, then I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. Not pandemic style, but just another chaotic situation that turns the whole world upside down. Why not? Speaking of things that turn the whole world upside down, Weapons was apparently like the movie of the year. Look, I'm Gladys. This movie drove people nuts. Movie drove people nuts. They didn't even know what to make of it. Did I love it? No. I love every movie, but it was fine. It got some of the biggest reactions of a movie that I've been to see live since Twisters 2. I'll say the beginning of Twisters 2 got kind of like this big, if you've seen Twisters 2, I won't spoil it for you, but the beginning kind of starts off a little intense. Got this big response from the audience. This movie also had several moments that had big response from the audience. I had a pretty interactive audience. I had like one guy was like, "What the hell? You let the door open?" And that's always fun when you got one of those guys in the audience. So, I mean, needless to say, Weapons was a good time for me. Do I love it? Do I think it's like a classic? For me, it's like a movie I can leave in the I can go like this and run away and leave it in the dust, mind controlled or not, by Gladys. And the last movie that I've seen in theaters, and worth mentioning for sure, Shin Godzilla in 4K. Look at that monster. The best. If you've never seen Shin Godzilla, I highly recommend it. I mean, for some people, this movie is a little bit overrated. I freaking love this movie. I think it's fantastic. It's some of the best acting in any Godzilla movie that you'll ever watch. And even being like Japanese dubbed, whether you watch it dubbed or with I've only ever seen it subtitled, so I can't speak to the dubbed version. But I love it, man. As far as the 4K goes, I didn't notice a lot of differences. I think there was some like additional dialogue scenes, but again, as an American watching this movie, I'm always like, what am I reading across the screen? And then like Godzilla, which again, it's very entertaining. A lot of the reading and the piling on of dialogue is actually kind of a part of the humor of the movie. So you'll actually almost get to it. You're like, is this supposed to be ridiculous? Yes, it is. It is supposed to be ridiculous, just like the giant kaiju threat that you're facing there. Besides the movies I saw in theaters, actually, the real special thing about this summer has been the summer of baseball, which means me and my wife have been going through and watching as many baseball movies as we can. Of course, that mostly pertains to movies that are just free and available to us. Trust me, there's a ton of baseball movies, and especially this time of year, they're like seriously readily available. So it hasn't been hard to get our hands on these. But as far as diving deeper into the baseball movies, this is definitely something that, fair warning, is not over yet. Even though there's still only a little bit of the summer left, we will continue with the year of baseball and continue to watch these baseball movies. But the first one we watched, pretty much figured we'd start with one of the worst, The Benchwarmers, man. Oh, if you saw this movie as a kid, if you have any fond memories of it, just toss them out the window. I love every movie, but this thing is freaking garbage. I love every movie now. This is an older movie. It sucks. Skip it. It's horrible. There's maybe one part of it, Nick Swardson, that's even like a little bit entertaining. And even then, he's only going to get you to laugh like 2 or 3 times. I swear. It's maddening. After that, I watched Hardball, which I'm kind of obsessed with the idea of taking Hardball and turning it into a mini series on HBO. They need to redo it. It needs a better motivation. It needs more of like a Bad News Bears kind of a setup where the guy teaching the team is actually like an ex-baseball. I don't even think Keanu Reeves used to play baseball. He's just like a betting guy in this movie. There's a lot of problems with it. Again, you almost kind of feel like it was like, hey, this is what The Wire is going to be like. Get ready, everybody. It was just kind of a precursor to that. But with The Wire in our lives, Hardball really kind of falls off as far as its emotional impact. One of the best baseball movies that I watched, absolutely, Major League One. Now, Major League One is genuinely fantastic, man. This movie is raunchy. It's like legitimately out of control. It's completely unhinged, and I love it, man. I love every single second of that. Of course, you've got your top guys, man. Charlie Sheen killing it as Wild Thing. We finally have that here in my city with Duran. We've got our own little Wild Thing going on, but this movie did, man. It's like a 10 out of 10. I'm not gonna fanboy over it anymore. However, even though I love every new movie that's coming out, I hate Major League too. I don't know why anyone likes this movie. There are people that freaking gush over this movie, and it's awful, man. It's a neutered, like castrated version of Major League One, literally repeating itself. It's even more egregious than Major League 3, Back to the Minors, which is a horrendous Bull Durham knockoff without any of the sex or intrigue. But nonetheless, Walton Goggins. So just for the sheer sake of Walton Goggins being young and crushing it, the movie's still kind of worth watching. Speaking of which, Bull Durham, absolutely awesome. I did really like this movie. I'll say, man, dudes, great date movie. Like, if you need to watch a movie with your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, Netflix and chill, this movie's available. Bull Durham is a really good choice, man. You're talking like older mentor, younger rookie. Again, if you see Major League Back to the Minors, which I know everybody has, you pretty much know the plot of Bull Durham, except there is sex involved. So, what's her name? Susan Sarandon or whatever. She's banging the hell out of him, man, and teaching him how to play baseball. Here, I'll actually get that right. Bull Durham. I think I got that right, though. Yeah, Susan Sarandon. It's Susan Sarandon. I just wanted to make sure. I'm not an expert on women that are quite this old. Don't worry. I don't knock older women. But Susan Sarandon, a little too old for me. Then there's Angels in the Outfield. This movie's horrible. If you liked this movie as a kid, I think we all watched it a million times just because. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's not just the plot of the deadbeat dad, like, yeah, the Angels make the pennant or win the pennant. We'll get back together as a family. And they just tells the kid to shove it and forget it at the end anyway. There's a weird thing going on with Danny Glover and these kids, man. Like, I'm not one to judge, but I didn't like it. Now, the year before that, Disney released Rookie of the Year. And the irony of me watching Rookie of the Year after Angels in the Outfield is that they clearly, like, Rookie of the Year is a much worse movie than Angels in the Outfield, despite its flaws. Angels in the Outfield is passable. It's good for syndication. Rookie of the Year is freaking awful, man. And I'm sorry if you like this movie, but it is freaking awful. And I mean, like, there's maybe nothing worse than whatever Norm from Home Alone directing this movie. There's maybe nothing worse than him. Everybody else is trying their best, including Gary Busey, as again the mentor character, very Bull Durham-y, for sure. But yeah, man, it's almost like they swung and missed with Rookie of the Year, and then they said, let's get a single with Angels in the Outfield. And then I kind of started moving into some of the better movies, man. Of course, A League of Their Own, classic. Tom Hanks, just such a legend in this movie. Madonna, and arguably the most likable version of Rosie O'Donnell you'll ever see in your entire life. So nothing else is worth it for that. easily number one, The Sandlot. I don't have to tell you anything about The Sandlot. Just look at this iconic picture of summertime and baseball and young friends. Then we watched Field of Dreams, the most, as Taylor Swift would say, esoteric. Big word there. Esoteric of all the baseball movies. This movie's weird, man. I love this movie because it's weird, but I don't think as a kid I realized how freaking weird and bizarre it is and how abstract it's being, with the whole White Sox and all that controversy. Then we watched maybe genuinely one of the most well-made baseball movies that exists, Moneyball. Here, I'll be Jonah Hill. So this is how baseball works, and you got to make the trades and stuff, because he's worth less, but he produces more. Okay, let's make. Or wait. Oh. Okay, that's making a lot of sense to me. Yeah, Moneyball is awesome, man. Moneyball is freaking awesome. Philip Seymour Hoffman, come on, just fantastic as a baseball manager. Once again, like he almost is one of those guys who just fits into every role. But in some ways, you kind of feel like he was meant to be a baseball manager, with the way that he plays it. And then most recently, I've watched the Bad News Bears, both the original 1976 Bad News Bears, which you just can't beat. This original movie, drinking beer with kids, the cursing, the reverency, the swear words, and the quite frankly horrendous slurs thrown back and forth that are just absolutely hilarious and could no longer exist in a movie today. And then I watched the 2005 one, which despite being a truthful and very accurate remake to the original 1976 Bad News Bears, was truly horrendous. Really just worse in every way, shape, and form. It was almost like the modern car version of a movie where it's like, this is so much about what a fundamental car is, but it's just worse in every single way. With the exception of, I will say once again, Billy Bob Thornton actually kind of crushing it as a butter maker and being a very solid replacement and remake role. Unfortunately, they didn't let him serve the kids alcohol at the end, which I'm not in favor of serving kids alcohol. But it just feels disingenuous to have this degenerate scumbag guy, and then they just like welches on serving the kids beer. I don't know. I don't buy it. What I am buying into, though, is Alien Earth. I dig Alien Earth. I've been saying to all my friends, Alien Earth is the most interesting and dumbest show on TV right now. It's not that clever. It's not that smart. There's not a lot of thinking to it. But man, is it fun. And boy, do I enjoy Kirsch. Kirsch is the man. He is killing it. He's the main character as far as I'm concerned. I'm all in on Kirsch, Of course, the whatever this thing is, the eye octopus. We love it. It's fantastic. It's the best thing that's been added to the Alien or Predator universe in quite some time. Once again, sponsored by Surfside. So thank you, Surfside, for providing the drinks tonight. Things I don't like about Alien Earth. The brother having invincible plot armor. I need an explanation as to why the alien didn't tear this guy to shreds like it did everybody else. He wasn't already pregnant with a chest burster. They put one in him. Spoiler alerts. I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. So what was going on there? I do not know. Why was he just cocooned up? I feel like the cocooning is never fully explained in the Alien movies, as far as I know. I've only recently watched the first and second one. It's been at least 15 years since I've seen the third and fourth one. But aren't they like pregnant when they get cocooned? Because I was thinking that's why it wasn't trying to kill him at first. Like, oh, he's pregnant. It's not going to kill him because it's got a baby in there. But I guess not. Even better than Alien Earth, of course. Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal season 2. If you're not watching it, well, go ahead and watch. I'm not gonna say anything else about it. I am married. My wife and I do watch TV together. We watch most of our TV together, and she loves Sex and the City. So she's been a huge Sex and the City fan her whole life. Loves hate watching, and just like that, it's pretty much like the heresy of everything she ever loved about Sex and the City. This show is just shitting on everything she's ever enjoyed about it. And if you've watched and just like that, then you know the joy of Epcot. We love Epcot. Everyone loves Epcot. Epcot's taken the internet by storm. So it's just a shout out to Epcot on this show, on our return here on Labor Day weekend. Epcot not only helped to contribute to, but ultimately brought home the symbolization of how, and just like that, for fans of Sex and the City, like my wife, who have been watching their whole lives, dedicated to it, just takes a huge shit on everything they love about it when Epcot clogs the toilet and all of their, in case you couldn't tell, their shits come rolling out onto the floor, which is shown in the episode. You know, as a husband / boyfriend who gets carried along for these shows, and look, trust me, guys, if you ever felt like I'm not going to watch that with my wife, that's a girl show, just watch it. You're probably at least going to get entertained by it. At the very least, it's going to give her something to talk about that you're like, yeah, I actually understand what you're talking to me about. But if she's watching and just like that, and you missed out on that, I'm sorry, because that was really phenomenal watching. And take it as a lesson that you should be open to these things. It's not a task. It's not a chore. It's something to do with your partner that ultimately you're going to get a ton of pleasure out of, because nowhere else did I ever expect to see trans feces rolling out of a toilet. But there it is on, and just like that, the show that I never expected to get so much pleasure out of. And then finally, of course, Peacemaker season. No, it's not final, but the last show, the most recent show I've been watching is Peacemaker season 2. I'm a little on the fence here, man. I don't know what to think. It's pretty good. I am very much it's funny. I'm enjoying Jennifer Holland's storyline, but I'm a little suspicious. There's a lot of her in this season, right? And she is married to the creator. So you have to wonder exactly how true those intentions are. Maybe the best show that I watched this year, White Lotus season 3. It's either that or The Rehearsal season 2. But White Lotus season 3, very solid, man. Super awesome. Loved it. Great storylines. Shout out Mike and Jules here. You know, you just can't beat it. And actually, third and running, Righteous Gemstones season 4 for best show of the year. Sean William Scott he probably won't be, but he should definitely be nominated for best supporting actor. He absolutely crushed this season. It was unreal. Of course, the main kids killing it. Just loved it. I personally enjoyed the storyline of Eli and his new love interest. I've been watching this lady my whole life from Sex in the City, Parks and Recreation. It's the Anne that tied that together for me. Parks and Recreation all the way through here. Very funny in this. I don't know her name. I'm sorry. Give you a little preview there. And then of course the finale, man. The finale, so good, all the way up to the beginning, which for a lot of people, I'm sure was very confusing. But to me, I just think that either the director of Righteous Gemstones or maybe Danny McBride himself want to make a Civil War type show, which is why they decided to do a whole Civil War episode. Even though there's this huge fat guy right there. What the hell is a huge fat guy doing in the Civil War? That doesn't make any sense. So shame on you, Danny McBride. Shame on you, because I'll be honest, man, that don't work. That's everything we were watching, man. Besides that, it's just been sports talk radio here in Philadelphia, which we're not going to bore you by talking about that. But trust me, man, it is probably the worst thing you've ever heard in your life. It's on a massive downward spiral, and there are some of the most incredible fools circulating this black hole of just like destruction and like lack of creative effort and stale stagnation of an entire industry all just sinking down into one place. And then there's still people like circulating around that trying to get into it, which is even more interesting to observe. But again, we won't get into all that. I know it's been almost a year, but again, we need to take that year to become rebalanced, to refocus on the channel, to discover what this whole thing is really all about. I mean, we're obviously not going to be reviewing music and stuff like that, but you know, we will be getting into other things. Like for example, I got obsessed with Dune this year. The Dune Encyclopedia, you know, if you don't have one, are you really a Dune fan? Hardcover. Get a little peek inside. Oh. And I'm on the last Dune book, Dune Chapter House. Dune's consumed my life. I love Dune. Shout out CBG19, Comic Book Girl 19, Danica XIX on Twitch. The Dune Club, very awesome to follow along with Dune itself. Really fantastic. Highly recommend it. And I am also, as far as comic book, I do love comic books, man. I do. I honestly do. Invincible. We're almost done it, man. The comic books. We're almost through it. I'm just about done. I'm about like 10 or 9 issues away. You know, we'll see. We'll see when we get to the end. I'm a little on the fence right now. It feels like it's being a little rushed towards the end. We'll see. But after that is Geiger. If you haven't heard of Geiger, man, check Geiger out. It's like post-apocalyptic, post-nuclear world, and this Geiger dude, I'll try to find you a good panel. This Geiger dude can glow and has radioactive like fighting strength power. So it's Geiger all the way after Invincible. And the rest of that universe, for example, what Rook and Redcoat and all those other new ones. I forget what the publisher is called, but you've seen. We're just enjoying stateside tonight and having a good time. We're not here to be politically correct or give you all the right answers. No, definitely don't come to me for any of the right answers. So again, we're going to keep navigating, kind of find out where we're going with this whole thing, but we're not quitting. We're not quitting. If anything, we're saying Heim. Oh, are you allowed to say that in this current climate? I have no idea. Woo! To life, though, man. To life. And to Labor Day weekend. Here's to a day off. If you're living in America, if you're not, I hope you're in a at least equally chill part of the world. But otherwise, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of Mike Poliz. He was the one playing the opening intro song. And may you all take care of each other. And what I'll say is leave a comment. Like, let me know. Like, what did you think? What do you like me talking about? Should we talk more about should we just become a Heim channel? And then we'll just do all Heim content. Let me know. You know, I will do that. You know, and then one more thing. I almost forgot. Sponsored by Mannequin Pussy as well. Be the first to comment below, and you will win Bill Cosby's himself, a one-of-a-kind stand-up DVD, courtesy of me. Comment below, and you'll have something that I promise probably not a lot of people have. It might be a collector's item. Don't quote me on it. Once again, this is Demodal by Mike Poliz, Polizze.